Thank you for coming back to part 2 of this video. Sit back and enjoy. So now that we know that our shop can be transformed with the aid of blueprints, let's go ahead and drive over there and make the necessary changes, and hopefully we can transform this $167 profit into something that's much more appealing. And just since we're in the neighborhood, just a quick stop to fill up the car and repair it, because we did get some damage to it, and now we can go on our merry way. And here we are with just enough space to park in. Now we can go ahead and call the interior installation firm and ask them to do a modern design. But before we do that, we need to change this from a coffee shop into electronics store. And we're gonna call this, let's see, this is in Midtown as well, and we're gonna call it Little Tech World. And let's assign a nice logo. And there we have it. And now it's time for us to call the interior installation firm. And look at that, just 88,000. Let's go to sleep until the next day and we'll see what we can do. Alright, everything is done. So we just have to readjust our employee schedule. Being a small store, we only need 2 people to cover up the shift. But actually, I'm thinking to make this 24/7, since we saw in all of the stores so far that we do have clients coming in the early hours of the morning. So because of this, let's have a look and see what candidates do we have. So at the moment we only have security guards, which is fine. Let's go ahead and assign 3 to this business because we don't have anyone yet. And at the same time, let's ask our headhunter to go ahead and recruit some customer service agents. We actually will need more than 3, perhaps. I'm just worried that this store is not gonna provide us with enough profits so we can account for that many security guards. As you can see, the security sits at 72, even though we don't have a security guard in place for the entire 24 hours. But I'm hoping that the store will produce enough profits for us to afford other people as well. We also need to speak to our logistic managers and again ask them to come to this store and provide a few amounts of stock as well. So let's just do 50 each. I think that should be enough. And we need to reorder with our purchasing agent because we don't have enough supply. Alright, so let's check on our candidates. We have customer service employees, which is what we want to see. Let's go ahead and assign 4, and this should be enough to cover the 24-hour period and also to cover the cleaning shifts. Because if you missed it, in update 0.4, they tweaked the cleanliness levels of every store, so now your stores will get dirtier quicker and you will need more than 1 person to cover up the entire floor. So because of this, we need to be careful and have enough employees throughout the day so we make sure that our stores have a high level of cleanliness. So because the store is so small, we don't have that many options. So we have the fish phone, the read and buy trays, and the noise pause, and the smartwatch. We know that the earbuds are the ones that drive the most revenue, so we're gonna focus on those. Alright, so we've just opened. Time for us to go ahead and sleep for 1 more day, because now we have all the employees in place, all the necessary stock in place as well, and hopefully we'll have a different result compared to the coffee store. And it appears it was a success, because as you saw, we had only $126 something when this was a coffee shop. Now that is an electronics store, we are $1,116 in profits. Customer service will increase with time, and the rest of it seems to be okay. We don't have any marketing campaigns, and I'm not willing to spend some money for it. We're just gonna rely on the very poor 10% traffic index for the profits of the store. Now there's some other things logistically speaking that we need to do. One of them is to assign our employees to the HR managers to ensure that they are replaced in case they are absent, and to also ensure that they are constantly trained so we have no surprises over there. We also need to assign uniforms to our newly acquired businesses, so let's go ahead and do so here. There we go, all done. So we are 2 out of 4 completely redesigned and repurposed and doing great. And just in case you're wondering, the other mega tech world is doing perfectly fine at 139,000 in profit just in a few days since opening, and is currently my second best business. So next up we have the Nightclub, which sometimes is performing well, sometimes is not. It only depends on the day of week. We've done everything that we can to make this as profitable as possible, but it's just the nature of the business and is not really performing as I wanted it to. One thing I could try is to have this nightclub open 24/7, which I'm sure will drive more and more people over, because as you can see, by 8 o'clock in the morning we still had 21 clients, and then from 9 a.m. it closes, which of course means that everyone gets kicked out. But I am a bit tired of this particular business, and I'm thinking that an electronics store will be better, because at the same time we also get to see the blueprints for a medium-sized building. So let's go ahead and make the changes now. It appears it's only 270,000, which is really not a lot of money. And in the meantime, let's ask our logistic manager to stop at this newly redesigned business. And here we are. The location of this place is actually pretty nice, and I'm hoping that redesigning it into something that's more appealing to the current trends will indeed translate into more profits for us. So this has now been completed, and what I can say, it looks amazing. I can see for the medium-sized store that the game design is more focused towards a happy medium between what the customers can see and what the employees have as well. They've made use of this corner here and made a separation by applying some modern cabinets in an L shape. So in here you have the storage shelf, which I guess has enough capacity to cover all of this. I am, however, slightly worried that this is not enough, but it's not a problem, we can always order more. And with its aid, they created this nice separation between the customer area and the employees area. In my opinion, I think this could be a little bit smaller, maybe up until here, but I guess this space is enough to cover more than one storage shelf, so in case you need to add more, you will have plenty of space available here. I also like the use of the plants. I don't know if you saw, but in most of my builds I have planter boxes and plants all over the place. It just helps with the environment and with the overall design. And they also included a few sofas here and a coffee machine, which is always nice to see that they care for the customers more than just selling stuff for them, but they also provide them with a nice sitting area. So let's go ahead and order just a couple more storage shelves, because that is clearly not enough. And we also need to make adjustments to the schedules of our employees. So with our previous setup, this was segmented into 2, but now we can just leave it open 24/7, and let's see if we have enough employees to cover that. And this is pretty much what it would look like. And we do have a few employees that are unique, such as the DJs. We don't have any roles that are suitable for them. They can only DJ, they cannot do any customer service or security or cleaning shifts. So unfortunately we will have to let them go. And we're sitting at 72 security with 3 security guards, and I think that's good enough. We'll have a look and see what the performance of the store is, and maybe later on we can supplement with another 1 or 2 security guards just to have a full day covered. In terms of pricing and size, it seems that we don't have space for all of the products. Again, this is what the blueprints have assigned them to. I'm sure that if I wanted to, I could find a space for 1 or 2 more products, But again, the blueprints are optimizing the capacity of the building and makes sure we're not bottlenecking ourselves. So that's why we don't have access to all the products. And we can just make this 349, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna change one of them to Rhythm by Trays because we do know that those are the best sellers. So with the 2 DJs, we have to fire them. There's no place and reason for us to keep them in. I wish I could, but I literally don't have any other option for them. And in here we have the artsy fish phone and the Zanima phone. And also we have the smartwatches. And where are the headphones? Oh, there's actually no headphone whatsoever. So, okay, that's not a problem. We're gonna get rid of the Zanaman smartwatch and phone, and we're gonna replace those with Rhythm by Trays and Noise. Let's just check if we have enough things going on. So Zanaman phone, there's still one product display table for the smartwatch and the phone, which is bottlenecking our capacity per hour. Let's just have a look and see if that is the case. There we go. So we have them here, the smartwatch and the phone. It's not a problem. We just replace them with one of each. And now we should be good to go. Okay, so there is an RT fish phone that we need to add actually. So what can we afford to change here? Either Noise or Rhythms can be changed to RT fish phone. So let's do it right here. And with that final change, there we have it. We are at building capacity of 40, so that's good to see. And now we can go ahead and change the prices for these items, because like I said, we know those headphones and these earbuds are selling very, very well. And since we've already done the delivery settings for this other store, the only thing remaining is to go to sleep. And here we are on our first day of opening this store. We have $127, and of course I wasn't expecting the world because we still don't have the necessary stock in place. As you can see, there's only 250 fish phones, and also I've placed an order for more storage shelves which should arrive any moment now, and here they are, because like I said, we clearly did not have enough. And as you can see, this is the only one, so we're gonna place another one here, and all these customers are very disappointed. I'm very sorry about that. And we can place another one somewhere with just some clever repositioning here. I need to close the store briefly so I can move these lockers, then we can make some more adjustments here. So on this wall there will be the other products, and then we have enough space. Maybe I can just get this closer like that, then we can put the lockers back in here. I also want to redistribute these things. So Xanaphone, we don't have that anymore, so we can just destroy them. And we also don't have, actually that's enough here, but I can get rid of one of these stocks, and hopefully this will be enough to cover all of the other products plus the paper bags. And now let's open the store back up. Next day most likely we're gonna be in negative revenue, because today I'm not sure we're gonna sell enough to keep us afloat. Here we are in the next day, and yeah, just like I predicted, we are in negative revenue. We started to receive products. We don't have paper bags, unfortunately. We do have some storage spaces available, and I'm gonna just amend the next delivery to include only paper bags. So the way you can do this is to go in here and then make all of these other ones at 0, and let's put this one, I think 1,000 should be good. Let's fast forward to the next day. So now our logistic guys should just go in and deliver the paper bags necessary to make actual transactions. And I think that was completed. So let's just have a look into the store inside. 992 bags. And unfortunately that's available just for the one cashier. So tomorrow they're gonna make another delivery of another 1,000, which is gonna cover the other cashier. And this is a bit finicky, but it's something that you need to keep an eye on and keep testing it and checking it, and you will get it in the end basically. So now that I've changed it, we're gonna go and sleep again, and tomorrow we're gonna have another 1.5k of paper bags, which should cover both of them and have a little bit of extra in case they run out. That's been completed. Now we just need to go back in and amend the deliveries to 150 each, and this one should be back down to 1,000. And if we check the store now, it should have 1.4 Okay, we see the rhythm by trays sold very quickly, and although we are an electronics store, we haven't been in the market for a long time, so as you can see in the best-selling products, we still have the items that were part of the nightclub business. Security is perfect at 100%, which is what we like to see. I guess it just changed over time, and now we can go ahead and fast forward to the next day and check out the results. And it is a success at 6.1k already. Pricing is 78%, so we're gonna get there. Customer service is improving, interior is improving, and cleanliness is at 100. Security has dropped to 72%. I guess it's 100% during the nighttime when we have two people operating at the same time, and then as the hours go by and we are only relying on one person, it drops down to 72, but I'm completely fine with that. The prices are okay, and we got the stock back for the rhythm by trays, which are selling quite well. So the best sellers so far are the Noise Boss earbuds, and we are making money, which is very good and is what we wanted to see. Let's go ahead and have another look inside the store, because I truly believe this is one of the best looking ones. This medium size one, I think it looks amazing, and it's just that nice log cabin feeling, but at the same time it has some tech element to it. Alright, so now with the third one transformed, it is a success. Let's check out the other ones that we've done. So we have the Mega Tech World Midtown, which is doing 157,000. It's a bit less than the Mega Tech World 1, basically the store that we covered a couple of days ago. This is still the best one at 222,000. The only reason why it's not doing as well is the pricing. So there's been a few days since opening, and I think we can be better in terms of what we offer as pricing. As you can see, the Noise Boss earbuds are not selling at all because they are too expensive. So let's drop them down to $299, which is the price that we've set for the most of them. And the Rhythm by Trays are selling like hotcakes. The rest of them are doing a good job, but if we can get these ones to sell at all, I think we're gonna get closer to that 200k mark. And the other ones, let's have a look. The Little Tech World is doing almost 10k. So from a coffee shop that was doing $126 in profits on some days, we have managed to make a store that makes $10,000 in profits in a day. If we check out the stats, we can see everything is pretty much perfect. Everything sells at the price that we set it at. I think no changes are necessary in here, and we got one store left, which was this one right here. It's another clothing store of medium size in Midtown. Now the reason why this is not performing that well is just because of the customers over time are very low, and we also don't have the best setup possible. We currently limit ourselves to 20 capacity when we could have been at 30, just because we're using only one checkout counter. Well, actually it's one cash register instead of a checkout counter, and this is why we're a bit behind. And let's see if we do the change for this one, if we can make any difference in terms of how many customers we get through the door and how much profit we can make in a day. So let's go ahead and make the necessary changes. Fast forwarding to another day, and I believe our interior installation firm has completed the setup. And as you can see, on this type of building, even though it's a medium one, the setup is different, and I think the design of the blueprints for the electronics store has been done incredibly well. I love everything about this, the placements, the little area here for the employees with the modern shelves, the placements of the tables, everything seems to be done in a very tasteful fashion. As we did with all the other stores, we just need to make a few changes and amendments to our current setup. So I've had a look at the inventory of the store and what is predetermined to sell, and I've made some adjustments because it did not include any read by trays or any noise boards. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and change the Xanaman phone, which we're not gonna sell, into noise boards, and we're also gonna have some read by trays as well. Just quickly checking if the current setup is optimal. And we have the smartwatch and the phone, the read by trays and the noise earbuds. Everything is perfect. We are at capacity. And we're just gonna go ahead and ask our headhunter to recruit some security guards, because we're at 45%. We don't have any security whatsoever apart from the security cameras and the security panels at the doors. So let's go ahead and employ these 2 security guards, and hopefully that will be enough to cover this entire store. It looks like we don't have any paper bags, and I just want to make sure that we still have storage shelves available. And it looks like we only have the one. It still has 6 spaces available inside of it. So I'm thinking that we're gonna do the same thing we did for the other one, which is to change just for one night what is being sent as inventory and leave only the paper bags. And after that delivery is completed, we will readjust the delivery schedules to include stock as well. And there we have it. Now we have 2,000 paper bags, which is exactly what we said that we wanted. So we can look at our logistic managers and amend this to something that's slightly less. So let's do 500, and then we can do 100 for our current stock. And if you're wondering and thinking, how can you know exactly what you have? It's very simple. You look at the blue bubbles here. As you can see, we have the possibility to include the phones from Xanaman as well. But since we're not having them displayed on the product tables, in that drop down menu, they will not be a part of what we currently sell. So yes, they are available to be sent to the shop's inventory because we have them in stock in our warehouse, but only the ones that have a blue dot against their name are currently being sold. So I'm hoping that this helped you if you ever wondered how you can know easily. With that done, we can go ahead and sleep for another day, and we're gonna check the profits that this store is making. And just a couple of days later, we are sitting at 4.8k, which is amazing news. The interior can be better, but I think it's gonna get better with time. Customer service again will get better with time, and just to make sure, let's fill all the slots available for our HR managers to train these guys constantly and make sure that we get to that 100% mark. Let's let a few more days pass and check the results. And as you can see, the second largest store in game that we converted into an electronics store is now the second best business that I currently have. Their performance is very similar, and I believe this is only because we managed to change that price. And let's have a look if that is the case. Since we changed it from $3.99 to $2.99, we managed to sell over 1,000 products in the last 7 days. And that was enough to cover the gap between $160,000, which was the previous profit per day, to over 200. The other ones are not too shabby as well. Tech World MT2 is doing 51,000 and Little Tech World is doing close to 10,000. Tech World 3 is doing also 14,000, but we don't have enough history for them yet. So that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and for all of the support that you've shown. I really appreciate it. Today's video was all about adjusting my businesses according to the market conditions and making use of the profits that can be gained from the electronics store. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.